So you remember I told you about my niece? Or did I tell you? She bought this blender. It was used, giving her nothing but trouble. It has 16 speeds, only 14 of them even work. You're awful quiet today. What, you got a case of the nerves?
Yeah, maybe. You know, I'm 62. I'm starting something new. I've never hosted a TV show before. A lot of good outdoor hosts, younger than me. So yeah, I'm a little nervous, a little testy.
Say, you know how thin you're getting up here? I mean, this island right up on top here, it's just grown like the Continental Divide. I learned about that in 8th grade, I think.
Yes, I am aware of my hair. Thank you.
Right.
I've told you I'm getting hair plugs when I can afford it.
You're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Say, have you seen Shocky's new show?
No.
Oh, man. That man is easy on the eyes. I would walk 100 miles to trim his hair. And then Nudge, well, that goes without saying. He is so talented. He can sing and play guitar and
Hey, just attend to the business, please.
Fine. So what's this episode about anyway?
Well, we're trapping muskrats. We're going to be running a lot of traps on floats, and we're going to have a great catch.
Say, are you sure you don't want me to trim all his ear hair here?
No, leave my ear hair alone.
Hey, Mark.
Well, good morning.
You ready to catch some muskrats?
Oh, baby.
Hey, Caleb, how you think he looks?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I am trying here. I am really trying.
Let's hit the road, Caleb. Thank you, Lisa.
These bloodshot eyes of knowledge, too proud to ever behold the all that is this and nothingness out on the bad river road, out on the bad river road.
Well, we're working our way up to the start of our trap line. It's about 60 miles from home, and we've got I've got about 140 muskrat floats out, and I run a 2-day check, and so we should have a good day. We should have plenty of muskrats. I brought Caleb from the shop along because we're filming, and he can help me check traps, and quite frankly, he's just always wanted to be on TV, and so I'm expecting a good day. And the wind, it's not going to be high winds. Tomorrow are going to be winds 40 to 50, and that could be a problem for some of the floats, but I think we'll have a good check today. Yeah, might as well. These gloves are made by Cold Creek, and they have several models for trapping and also outdoor use, yard work, and these just really last well. They give me a good grip, and they just last really well, and I've used these for many years now. We got one float down here, and the traps are gone, so I'm guessing we've got something in it. This float takes quite a bit of wind. Well, it looks like we got 2 muskrats here. And they're both big muskrats. Of course, this time of year, it's the spring of the year, and you aren't going to get any kits, any small muskrats. They're all going to be adults, but some are bigger than others. That's a big rat right there. I'll get this guy out too. Yeah, they're both very big. then there's some muskrat turds on here yet, so after these guys went down, other muskrats, at least one, was climbing up on it. All right, we're ready to roll. How'd you do over there, Caleb?
Got one.
One? Well, 3 out of 4. Yep. I think you could do better.
To the one who blessed this morning out on the bad road.
Wiebe Trapline Adventures is brought to you by Shields All Sports. Follow your passion for everything outdoors. By Dakota Line Snares and Trapping Products. Snares loaded for speed. And by Wiebe Fleshing and Skinning Knives. We are wicked sharp. We are Wiebe.
Despite all those deep conversations with the birds, the perfect shots, and the constant retrieves that happen out there, the memories made in here are what it'll always be about. The season is here, and your hunt begins at Shields.
Wicked sharp every time you pick it up. Wiebe knives feature a replaceable blade design sporting a surgical grade scalpel edge for long-lasting and consistent use. Designed by sportsmen for sportsmen, it's the perfect trapping, hunting, and fishing companion, helping you maintain precision control and keep a solid grip. After all, it's a Wiebe. Order the Wiebe knife that's right for you now with up to 24 replacement blades starting at $19.99 plus $5 flat rate shipping at WiebeKnives.com.
What I'm using on these floats, I've got 2 holes in here, and I put, this one has high water muskrat lure, and this one has laughing lady, and these muskrats love both of these. And then I use hurricane too, but in this case you can see they're eating the wood to get at the bait. And some of these blocks, this is my first year using this method, but some of these just aren't going to last another year because they chew them so much to get that bait, to get that lure. So anyway, I just put it on the stake. This is for eye appeal. The whiteness is for eye appeal. I almost never have a live muskrat. They just go down and drown. I use these number 2 Victor square jaws. It's my favorite muskrat trap. It's a worthless trap for anything else other than muskrats and maybe mink. And it takes them down quick. We'll just get that set right back on the float there. It's not rocket science. Did you get 2, Caleb?
Yeah, I got 2.
Okay, I'd like to see you do that more often.
I'll do my best.
And then we just give them a snap. It starts to dry them off, so later when we skin them, we won't have to wait as long. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Well, 2 traps down. some turds on the block of wood. There's one. He's a big rat. Muskrat's a herbivore, strictly vegetation. They do not eat any meat. And they can't eat themselves out of their habitat. I've seen that before, where they get so thick and you know, sometimes Mother Nature will kill them off when they get that thick, and sometimes not, and they eat themselves out of their resource, and then they die of starvation. And there's number 2. That's a decent rat too. How'd you do? Well, you're quick. Well, 4 out of 4, so that's pretty darn good. There'll be more here. Well, there's 2 traps down, and there's definitely more rats in here the way they've been chewing. They've got all the bait out of there, but I'm sure there's still some smell there, so I'm not too worried about that. Looks like we had hurricane and high water on this. When I was growing up, you could trap in Minnesota beaver in the spring, and so me and my friend Toad, we'd float the river in a canoe. He was 17, I was 16, I think, when we started. He could drive. Maybe I was 15, but you'd see a lot of waterfowl. We'd get so excited when we'd catch a beaver. Oh, there's a second one. But that smell of beaver musk, beaver castor, I just associate it with a really good time in my life, and sometimes I'll just float the rivers in my kayak, and I get a whiff of that, and it just takes you right back. And of course, you got the spring fever thing going on too, especially when you're young. And trapping has taken me down a lot of roads, a lot of places. Some have been train wrecks, but they all have some type of meaning to me, I believe. Met a lot of people because of it. I guess that's who I am.
Wiebe Trapline Adventures is brought to you by Redneck Convent, gear for the rugged, tough outdoors. By F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post, everything you need for trapping and hunting. And by Southern Snares Trapping Supply, our customer success is our priority.
Despite all those deep conversations with the birds, the perfect shots, and the constant retrieves that happen out there, the memories made in here are what it'll always be about. The season is here, and your hunt begins at Shields.
Wicked sharp every time you pick it up. Wiebe knives feature a replaceable blade design sporting a surgical-grade scalpel edge for long-lasting and consistent use. Designed by sportsmen for sportsmen, it's the perfect trapping, hunting, and fishing companion, helping you maintain precision control and keep a solid grip. After all, It's a Wiebe. Order the Wiebe knife that's right for you now with up to 24 replacement blades starting at $19.99 plus $5 flat rate shipping at WiebeKnives.com.
Amazes me, Mark, how much that they've eaten these wood blocks just in the few days you've been trapping. That thing's almost gnawed through completely on both sides. It's a big rat. You got a double over there?
No, just one.
Got a double here.
Oh yeah, you got to be number one, don't you? What we're using for baits on these floats is Hurricane, Laughing Lady, and High Water. And they're all sticky baits, and they all have their own smell to it. Muskrats and coon go to these, muskrats in particular. And the bait will stay in place usually because it's sticky. And in fact, when I was preparing floats this year, there was some of the high water still on one of the floats. And a year later, it wasn't as strong, but I could still smell it. It was still producing. I mean, you don't have to rebait with this stuff. And 3-4 years ago, I was float trapping, and I forgot to bring the bait, and so I was just using muskrat musk and Monty, good trapper, and we compete and we're friends, and he was catching way more than me. His floats were traps down, and mine wouldn't be. And we met up one day, and he said, "Hey, do you have any high water with you? I'm out." And he was smoking me using my own baits, and I didn't have any of my own baits along. That's kind of how I roll sometimes, but you just aren't going to go wrong for muskrats with this stuff. But you do have to keep in mind you might hook a coon, and I haven't hooked one yet this year trapping muskrats, but this is what we're using, and they're eating it too. Muskrat. No, Captain. Captain and Tennille, yeah. Yeah, that was 70s. I'm impressed, you know that. I didn't care for the Captain. Tennille, she was okay, but Captain there, anybody wearing one of those sailor hats on dry land, No, no. I don't think they're together anymore.
Wow, look at that bite on that tail.
Oh my, wow. Huh. Never noticed that before.
Something, yeah. You think that's an after the catch thing, or you think it's been living with that?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Muskrat Susie.
Wiebe Trapline Adventures is brought to you by Cold Creek Trapping Products, serious trapping gear for the serious trapper. By Mark SD Animal Lures, top quality baits and lures with proven performance. And by Wiebe Knives. Don't ever get caught in the field again with a dull knife.
Despite all those deep conversations with the birds, the perfect shots, and the constant retrieves that happen out there, the memories made in here are what it'll always be about. The season is here, and your hunt begins at Shields.
Wicked sharp every time you pick it up. Wiebe Knives feature a replaceable blade design sporting a surgical grade scalpel edge for long-lasting and consistent use. Designed by sportsmen for sportsmen, it's the perfect trapping, hunting, and fishing companion, helping you maintain precision control and keep a solid grip. After all, it's a Wiebe. Order the Wiebe knife that's right for you now with up to 24 replacement blades starting at $19.99 plus $5 flat rate shipping at WiebeKnives.com.
Yeah, we got us a muskrat. That's a big one too. Very big. I've never really weighed muskrats, but I bet the big ones go 3 to 4 pounds. Everybody talks about their 80-pound beaver, but I really doubt people weigh them. Me and my friend Toad, we caught an 85-pounder, but we never weighed it. I bet it was 60 pounds. But it made it for a good story, and everybody talks about their 40 and U50 and 60-pound coons. So, probably for 10 years at Dakota Line, we'd have a big coon contest, and biggest one we ever weighed was just a hair short of 40. But I swear every trapper's caught a 40-pounder, if not bigger. That's why I had it. I just thought it'd be fun. Kind of rub people's face in, and we'd have guys come in, oh, I got a 50-pounder in the freezer, but they'd never bring it in. We had one guy bring in the same coon 2 years in a row. Its eyes were all sunken from being in the freezer. Yeah. And it weighed almost exactly the same. I knew it. I didn't say anything. And this one has a muskrat. Sometimes I like to throw them to shore because, once in a while I'll drop them, and then you end up, if the water's deep at all, you end up feeling around for them with your feet, and sometimes you figure, well, I'll let the water clear, and next time through I'll look for it. So a lot of times I just throw them to the bank so I don't lose them. This trap here, somebody, before I bought it, they added an expanded pan on there. They're made by Barker's. Barker's expanded pan, and so for muskrats, it's a real benefit to have a bigger pan. And if I took the time, I would change all my 1.5 coils to, I'd put these add-on pans onto them. It would result in more muskrats. The animals with bigger feet, I don't get the trend of bigger pans. You could get throwouts and toe catches. It's a disadvantage. And I don't know what people are thinking, but for muskrats, these short-legged animals, smaller feet, these expanded pans, they're really good. They're gonna catch some more animals. That's why I like the number 2 square jaw. It already has a bigger pan on it. Well, we're probably a little past halfway through the line, and so this is gonna be 2 episodes, and so next week you're gonna see the second part of the line. The catch has been really good, and I have no idea how many we have, but till next week, peaceful waters.
Something else out on
There's 2
the
traps
bad
down,
road.
and there's definitely more rats in here.
Out